Part 2 of Kings and Scorpions. Let's continue.
Yes.
You left us at Jeroboam fled to Egypt.
Jeroboam ameenda Egypt. Now Solomon yako mta anajua this guy is a threat to my kingdom. But I would say kiburi. I would say he's a busy man. And also one of the ways, if you are in power, one of the secrets is when there is someone who is under you and they are trying to like maybe overthrow you or overcome and to find a name for themselves, you just ignore them. Actually, one of the most common phrases za rappers wenye walikuwa na beef, ulikuwa unakuja unauliza unajua so and so amekudis nini, unasema mimi hata simjui, wewe ni nani? If you do the opposite, then this person becomes a hero of sorts. They become the underdog, and human nature is always to root for the underdog. Even ndio Songo alingia kwa power. Even ndio and he's making the same mistake because Rigiji but actually this is not a politics podcast. So somehow Solomon would end up dying Jeroboam akiwa Egypt. And David ruled for 40 years. Solomon also ruled for 40 years. And Solomon's son would succeed him as king. Now the name of this son was Rehoboam. Okay, Rehoboam. Not to be confused with that Jeroboam. Tulimuita Kilavi Kasioki. Now, Rehoboam becomes king. Now, of course, when you become king, everybody wants to see you, everybody wants to crown you, nini. So alienda place ilikuwa inaitwa, I think it's Shechem, because that is where he was going to be crowned, and the people were there. Egypt, there is something about people fleeing to Egypt and realizing the king is dead. Jupia Joseph sina Miriam. But Jeroboam, he learns that ni aje nani amededi. And huko alikuwa ameishi vizuri sana, alikuwa ametreatiwa poa. So akaenda kaambia king ni aje mimi kurudia kamuuliza MC. Si nimekutreat fit nimedo nini, akamwambia tu wewe acha tunishie. And he goes back. Now, when he went back, he is one of the guys at this scene of it's called the coronation or what? Of Rehoboam crowning when he's being crowned. He's there. And the people of Israel are all there. And the king is there and is being crowned, is being made king. And he wanamwambia sasa mtukufu rais mkuu, your dad, he was a very harsh guy. You remember we said in the previous episode that one of the things Solomon did was forced labor. Inaandikangwa tu kwa Bible. Unajua the Bible, this is why I love the Bible. The Bible inareportingi tu kitu as it was.
Yes.
So sometimes we think kuna kucorrect. So sometimes because the Bible is so black and white, we tend to think that these things are said positively. No, when actually they're just reported. As in inasema tu. Yani so and so.
Because that's what was there.
That is what happened. I am just reporting it. Kama ili happen. It does not mean it was right. It does not mean it was happened. This is what happened. So Bible ikisema, niliona watu wakisema, even Solomon had 1,000 wives. Na hiyo story iko sawa. Mimi tu nimetafutia bibi yangu msaidizi. Nimemletea tu mmoja analeta ngori and anatumia Solomon kujidefend. It is not that the Bible is saying Solomon was okay in doing these things. It is reporting. This is what happened. In fact, it should be to more even shame. Even
I remember when I gave context in the previous episode, this was to be allies.
Yes.
Like you are getting because these are by people. So
exactly.
we are not going to be in war.
Exactly.
Yes.
Ndio hiyo sasa. And so, wasa wanaambia Rehoboam, manze wewe ndio king. May you live forever. Your dad was very harsh. And so sisi tunaomba tu utupunguzie
Oh, no, these are the people.
These are the people. Tupunguzie hii harshness manze. Juu tumehema. Tupunguzie. And Rehoboam is like, haya sawa, you guys give me 3 days, go away. Give me 3 days, I'll think about it. Alafu mrudi after 3 days, I will tell you what I'm thinking. And Rehoboam does something very wise. He goes to the elders. Not to say the elders are watakuwa, the elders they know everything or they are wise in everything. But Clive, there is a wisdom in old people.
True.
Iko.
True.
Sometimes you have to listen to them blabber for an hour to get one thing. But iko. Sometimes everything they say is wise. But there is a wisdom that comes with age. We have been told differently, we have been told but iko. Iko.
But so we think it's a lie.
We think it's a lie.
But for example, right now in our 30s, do you know there are things we know that we didn't know anywhere? For example, in our early 20s.
In our 20s, yeah. 100%.
And there are things you won't even discuss about it or argue about it because you know.
You know.
Yeah.
Exactly. So imagine when we get to 50s, 60s, 70s. So he goes to the elders, Rehoboam. Now he asks them, what will I say to these guys? Nimesikia venye wameniuliza. And they tell him, if today you become a servant to these guys and you listen to their plea, listen to their cry, they will serve you forever. They will be your subjects and your servants if you listen to them.
Because you care about them.
Because you care about them.
Translate to that.
And then he says, okay, sasawa nimesikia mabuda, nyinyi ni wazee wa power. Vijana wa jana. I got you, manze wazae. Shukran. He goes anatoka hapo anaenda kwa mayangins, his age mates, and the Bible says my BFFs. And these are guys alikuwa amegrow now. He had grown up with them in the palace, so obviously there would be royalty. There would probably be watoi wa guards, the chief guards, watoi wa tu royalty to maybe his cousins, because he also had Rehoboam also had brothers and nini. So hawa wenye ameguru now anaenda na wauliza, sawa waliniambia nipunguze labor, nipunguze tu hardship. Nyi mnaonaje? Makul kid washaona shida. Hai. Walionea shida wapi? Hao wanaanga tu kwa movie. They do not know what hardship is. They do not understand the people. Royalty was, especially ma prince and princesses, walikuwa nawekwa away from the people so that they are recognized as royalty, as in they are celebrities, you know. And that is why the great princes, they would lead wars on behalf of their daddy. And as they are growing up, they need to be feared, to be revered, yani, unajua. Ndio? Kukuwa nayo heshima. So I say they don't even know the people. Hawaja interact now. Nika juzi nilikuwa naona wase wakiingilia Charlene mpaka, which is not what I recommend, but it is that mentality the people have, that huyu msee amegrow tu akiwa fiti. Unye pia sasa alikuwa anasema amegrow tu vizuri. So I understand ni yetu. Ndio ilikuwa narrative ya hustler kingia. Watu wajui shida. Wacha niwaambie kitu. These people do not know what they are doing to the Kenyan people. Mimi nikiingia hapo kitu ya kwanza ni hii mambo ya jamaa ya bodaboda nini. Sasa hiyo msawa bodaboda ndio. Kuna mmoja amenibeba bana nakuja tu akilia. Man, paka unaogopa. Everyone is complaining. So this guy goes to ask these guys for advice. Na hao makul kid wanamwambia, hey, sasa wase wanataka watutambue. Go and tell them this, that my thumb is thicker than my father's waist. Actually, I think Kings inasema it is thicker than my father's waist. Ingine inasema is thicker than my father's thigh. His thumb. I think Chronicles ndio inasema thigh. Thicker than my father's waist. Wambie watajionea. Hawatajua. Now, the interesting thing is, a few chapters later, the history of 1 Kings 12. This specific one, Rehoboam, I think 1 Kings 12. A few chapters later, you will discover that it is recorded that Rehoboam became king when he was 41. Huyu msee hakuwa mtoi, alikuwa tu mtu na heshima zake, mtu tu mzima. But again, I will say this very carefully, for his age of 41 he was thinking like a teenager.
In playing devil's advocate, watu walikuwa naishi 400 and something years. So
walikuwa
katoto.
Enzi za Solomon walikuwa katoto. Hizi enzi watu walikuwa, life ilikuwa imeanza kurudi kawa. So 3 days later wase wana come and he goes to them. Elders wako his side, Mayangin wako his side. Unasema aje mkuu? And he tells them, sasa nilisikia and I considered it. I want to tell you that after carefully thinking, I want to tell you that my thumb is thicker than my father's waist. My father scourged you with whips. Mimi, I will scourge you with scorpions. Bonenda kujua mjui. Si mimi ndio king hapa. Ama kuna king mwingine hapo. Ni mimi. Bonenda kujua mjui. Mkuu, how can this be your first decree as king? Hata kina Kasongo walificha nini tukaona ni kama wanafanya vitu poa. Wanaficha white kidogo. For who? Wase pia wako zile za mzee. Kwanza hata wewe kwanza hata wewe ni nani? Kwanza hata ubudako Solomon. Wacha hata huyo David. Alitusaidia anatusaidia na nini hiyo jina yake? Si asha dedi. He was a great king, fine. Wase Israel, everybody to your own tents. Kila mtu ajipiganie, kila mtu ajipambanie. Juu hii sasa ni ufala. Actually hiyo keja David sasa hiyo house yake iisha ataiperish. Juu sasa si ini mbwak ni gani tunaletewa. And the guys go. And they go elsewhere and they assemble and they make who their king? Jeroboam. Muteti Kilavu Kasioki. Wanasema juu pia yeye alikuwa hiyo time, alikuwa manze. Mwacha nini niwaambie kitu my friends. Baba ya huyu kijana namjua vizuri sana. Alinipatia kazi, alikuwa anaongea kari giji sahi. Tulikuwa tunafanya kazi na yeye. Mara kidogo kitu inafanyika ninamuuliza, "Hey, Mr. President, are you going to allow this for the people of Kenya?" Ninasema, "Yes sir." Anasema hiyo ndio ingine analeta contract, anasema weka kidole hapa. Ninamuuliza, "Mr. President, are you sure?" Lakini mimi ninasema, "Yes sir, ninaweka because he was my boss." Anaambia watu, Solomon namjua. Na huyu mtoi nilikuwa namjua, alikuwa anacheza hapo. Guys, make him king because he understands them. Wanafeel unsana wa nini?
He is
their voice. Na huyu atatuelewa. Huyu alifanya mjengo and he was in charge of forced labor. Na hiyo time probably king akisema tutoke 5 alikuwa anasema tutoke 4. Alikuwa anatuweka kidogo. So they go and make him king. And that day 10 full tribes of Israel separate themselves.
They no longer recognize Rehoboam as
their king. They do not recognize Rehoboam as king. But yeye anabaki na tribe moja, Judah. Na Judah ina BFF fulani. Kuna day tulipiga story ya a Levite and his concubine. Fuata playlist. Angalia. Judah had a best friend tribe. And that tribe was Benjamin. Judah na Benjamin wakabaki pamoja. So sana ukiona Judah, when Judah is referred, most likely it's Benjamin. Now Judah ndio the Jews, The Jews are not all Israelites. Ni hawa Judah, all tribes. But this guy goes with 10. Reuben, Naphtali, nani hizo majina za Waluya zote zenye unafikiria. Reuben, Naphtali, nani, Isaka, yani Maluya tu nini. You know in the Bible there's a guy called Nebat. Actually there's a few, but wachana now. Nebat was not a tribe. I just had an uncle called Nebat who was a Luya. Now he and they become and they form and wanasema wataanza kuishi and they have their king. Rehoboam kwanza anasikia hasa venye wamebonga venye wamecrown, kwanza he flees, anatoka hiyo mtaa anarudi home. Haya, kurudi home ana assemble from Judah and Benjamin 180,000 men. Anasema ujinga tuzifanyiwa. And he prepares them and he readies them for war. Anawaambia ni aje, we are going to take back our kingdom. Juu hii upuzi kamtu kaezi kuwa kamtu kamjengo hapa, kamekuja hapa ati anakuja kukuwa king. Ai msee, kwanza anaenda anatuma ule jamaa wake sasa minister wa forced labor Adoniram. Anamwambia wewe bana, enda waambia watu hiyo ujinga sitaki kusikia, waache hiyo upuzi, sijoende ongee nao. Adoniram anafika hivi, stoned to death. Mawe, he's killed. They meant business msee. Tumesonga. Killed, murdered. So hii kesi inamfikia, ndio sasa na jam ana assemble war army nini na anaenda kuattack. Now just as they are preparing, they are going to take back the territory. God sends a prophet. His name was Shemaiah. Enda uambie huyo Rehoboam, nimemwambia hapana jaribu. Hapana jaribu. Unajua madhe. God says do not go to war against your brothers. This is my doing. Wachana nayo. And to Rehoboam's credit and the people, they listen to God. They listen to this prophet and they withdraw and they do not go to war. But because of this foolish act, something very pivotal in Israel's history happens. Israel would forever be separated into two different kingdoms. The northern kingdom, which was the other 10 tribes, and the kingdom of Judah. And they would continually be at loggerheads, at war almost with one another, because of one foolish thing. A stupid king. The irony is he was the son of the wisest king who ever lived. He made the most foolish decision.
The apple fell far from the tree.
The apple fell away, miles away from the tree. You get. And Israel would forever be split into two kingdoms. Now, as for Jeroboam and the things he did, won't we talk about them in the next episode? Or in a future episode? As for Rehoboam and also the things he did, won't we talk about them in a... Nimesema hivyo because Bible inaikanga hivyo. As for Jeroboam and all the things he did, are they not recorded in the books of the Chronicles of the Kings? As for so and so, are they not written in the annals of the... Yes. We'll talk about them. But ninaitaka tumalizie hii hapa for now. And I'd really, and it is not just me, it is all the ladies who are watching. They really want to know what does Clive think about this story, about this episode. Mr. Ladies Man.
I feel a lot happened in these 2 episodes, getting through the story. And what has come to my mind when you ask this question, many a times as Christians, tunafuata upepo. We go to this school church, we interact with these people who wako spirit fell, wakiimba, una feel God's presence, wakipray, and prayers are being answered and all that. But at the end of all this, when it's all said and done, are you that person? Because think of it, Rehoboam, I would assume he was always had access to Solomon.
Angelani wisdom,
yes.
He would have learned the importance of elders.
True.
I hear you. I hear what you're saying.
But unaona yeye alichagua the latter. Because aliona hiyo ni story ya mzae, hiyo inihusu. And that's where we are, most of us. All these things are happening, but we don't even pay attention to them. The simple things that we need to do, we don't do. An elder, let me call it a board of elders, because that's the common term we use right now, board of directors. They are there to advise you as a CEO, as a director. And you know, these people are normally handpicked. Ikwangi tu ati, safa unadu, hauna shughuli kama ukwe board member. So for these people to be elders, it meant they were bringing something to the table. And assuming the dad, the wisest person to ever grace this earth, picked these elders and they give you advice and unaona hii
ni nonsense.
Hata mabeste zangu hao ndo wanajua. You know the way every generation thinks they have the solution to the problems you people have been living. The same way as millennials, when Gen Z speak, unaangalia unasema tu tuongee after 10 years because you realize that's how we were thinking back then. Used to feel apparent mlikuwa mna exist aje na hizi but say where I am, I realize it's true. A stupid thing like them complaining the noise was too much. Akisaisa for me sizipandanganya unless in an option that music is too loud. But you see parents wakiongea walikuwa naona nyinyi mnakuwa watiaje. The point I'm trying to put across ni let's listen to the people who have gone before us. It might look stupid, it might sound stupid, because think of it, I feel Rehoboam didn't need to build a name for himself. Like he just needed to be a king. That's it. You don't need in history it will be written you are the one who made people work extra hard.
He did not need to.
But he chose, I want to build a name for myself. And I keep the friends we keep. Let's keep wise friends.
Keep wise friends.
Because imagine atikwa hii mbogi yote hakuna mwenye alimuuliza na elders wamesema ni
nothing. Hao walikuwa tu sisi ndima. Clive yenyewe. Clive ni mdeep. I see why mlikuwa mmemhata. I see it now.
So let's pay attention to, especially to older people. Wisdom comes with age. They know their stuff. They've experienced it. It might be it's new for you at this moment, but to them it is not something new. And as they are speaking, it's because they've seen the end goal. Now imagine this small mistake that he had a choice to correct cost Israel up to today.
Cost them forever. And I think umeleta from the side of the children. And I think it's very profound. Looking at it from the side of the parents, unajua nimefikiria tu, if Solomon had like 1,000 women, how many kids did he have?
And you see, this is back then when people were giving birth.
Ay bro.
Si nonsense, Mose anatufanyia hii time.
Ati staki, niko peke yangu. Juzi tumeka singles dinner. Vizuri, in fact I was looking very dapper. In fact, Director Mo, sijui kama unaweza cheza na hizo picha one. Yes. Maybe pia mimi nikipotea wataniulizia, mwenye ameulizia Clive. I'm jealous. It's showing. It's evident. It's giving. Calm down. Tumekuwa na dinner hapa. Niambia kijana Moses, vaa suti yako tuende dinner. Sema mimi kijana ameenda mtaa. Ameset up ameenda home. Bure kabisa. Nilikuwa naona clip fulani ya some not Nigerian, Jamaican guy. Alikuwa anauliza, how many children do you have? 23. 22 baby mother. Real bad man. But sasa I'm imagining us as fathers, what is it we're living with our kids? Solomon left all his wealth to the Rehoboam. He had built the palace. The temple was there. People would come from all over Israel to come and to worship. But the one thing he had gotten from God, he had not left with this child, the wisdom. How are we raising our kids as parents? Na unajua struggle ni manze, mimi niliteseka nikiwa mtoi. Umtoi wangu atateseka. Nataka aishi soft life yenye inafaa, which it's not bad.
But do you know your kuteseka, it's what made you.
It formed you. It formed your character. It made you who you are. And I love my nilipiga Kate shout out, I think nilimpiga master mpiga bado.
You did.
I did.
Yes.
I love her family. Family yao, they have a very, very wise mother and a very wise father. And hawa toi wakienda shule, kulikuwa na balance. So kila mtoi amepitia the posh of wacha nipeane examples. Amepitia Pioneer for example, but huyu mtoi amepitia Pioneer amepitia pia Udhiru-Genesis. Nothing against Udhiru girls. Nothing against Udhiru girls, nothing against nini. But in their wisdom ameangalia balance yao mtoi, best of both worlds.
Yes.
So now when you interact with with those kids, they are not proud. They are not full of themselves. They understand that kuna hii life inside na kuna hii life inside. Now I'm not saying ati tule watoi wetu hivyo, but I'm just saying it is good for them to understand, especially kids we are grooming for, like to take over the business, family business or nini. They need to understand both worlds, and that is a call as to us. Bora nasema to us as parents. Manze nani? Mimi mwenyewe ni baba zero. Ama but you never know. Unajua they normally say when a man dies ndio mtajua. Kwa funeral yake ndio wasema huyu unatoka mtoto hata kuna ja DNA. Huyu ni baba yake kabisa. Mapua, macho, kila kitu. But there is a call to parents, to parenting, to ask ourselves, what do we leave with our children?
Because we are more focused on me building myself, building a legacy, and I forget to teach this or to pass it down to this next generation.
What is your take? Fatherly, what did you learn? What do you think? What did we miss? What do you want to add? Let us know in the comments. Pale social media pia tuko point them to Jesus on all platforms. PTJ, point them to Jesus, which is what we do. Na imekuwa true. Kama imekubamba tufanyie kitu, give us a like. And if you're watching and you haven't subscribed, may God forgive you. Nilisikia pasi fulani, hata si pasi, drama wetu wa Tunde Mkeni anasemanga, may God punish the devil. God punish the devil, msee. But show us all the support. Share a link, share a video na your friends, people, because people need to hear these stories. Yes. Stories ka hizi, kuna watu hata wako wanajua kuna story kai kwa Bible. But anyway, I'm just glad you joined us. So until next time, it has been real, it has been fun, it has been real fun.
Bye.